Now it's time for today's perspective, and today we're going to introduce you to the ARC. Now, the ARC is a project founded 2.5 years ago as a response to the exclusion of Russians who disagree with the war in Ukraine. Huge numbers of people, of course, forced to leave Russia amid mass arrests of protesters, as well as what the ARC's organisers call repressive laws and forced mobilisation of soldiers as well. Now, founder of the ARC is human rights defender Anastasia Borokova, who joins us now here on the programme. Thanks very much for coming in and talking to us. First of all, just tell us a bit about your own personal experience. I mean, you left Russia, didn't you, in 2021, before the invasion of Ukraine. You'd already been a strong opponent, hadn't you, of Vladimir Putin, protesting initially anyway about election fraud. Why did it get to the stage where you felt you had to leave?
I can say that the Russian government started to prepare for full-scale invasion in 2021, and it was a huge attack against Russian civil society, also opposition groups, human rights defenders, and I was a target of such attack too. I'm a human rights lawyer, and I lead the human rights organization, which was really effective and protect people from the government special services. And in this case, my organization was recognized as undesirable. It's a special law when government can just through General Prosecutor Office recognize any organization as undesirable in territory of Russian Federation. And after that, everybody who take part in it, who communicates somehow with the organization, can go to prison for maximum 6 years. And in this case, I made a decision to left Russia, and I moved to Kyiv, Ukraine, and stayed there till February 24, 2022.
Well, when you say you were a target, do you mean things had already happened to you, or you knew it was coming and you felt it was the time to leave?
I had some documents from special services and also questionnaire and some checking under this criminal article. So yeah, in this case, it was an issue of weeks.
So then you were in Kyiv, and obviously the invasion came about. What was that like for you?
I left Kyiv also for sure because Vladimir Putin came to my new home again, and I moved to Tbilisi, Georgia, and stayed there as a lot of other people who were involved in civil society groups, political groups, feminist resistance, and etc., etc. So, and we stayed there as a huge, strong community who do our best to oppose the war and Putin's regime, provide different types of assistance for other Russians who stay on the same page and share the same values. And for sure, we provided assistance for Ukrainian refugees, so people from occupied territory who were deported to Russian territory, and people who left Russia and stay in Georgia because there is quite small assistance from government there, not like in European countries.
Tell us what it's been like then emotionally as a Russian, you know, watching what's happened over the last 2 years. What's it been like for you, if you like?
So it's really difficult to express. For sure, I feel responsibility for it. In this case, I do my best to provide different type of assistance, human rights protection, and for sure, you know, like keep human resources for future Russia and keep from human resources from this bloody war.
So tell us more about the ARC then. Where did the idea for that come from, and what do you think you've been able to achieve?
I can say that it was, you know, a plan, or we had some KPI or something like that. It was just emotional reaction for this huge wave of leaving Russia, huge wave of immigration after the beginning of the war. There were not just, you know, repression in usual meaning, like arrests, people were convicted for sure, but a lot of professional groups, for example, signed anti-war petitions, and they lost their jobs, or special services came to houses just for donation for Ukrainian Foundation, who provide humanitarian assistance for people inside the country, and it was really a huge wave of repression. and these repressions still continue. So in this case, we needed something to help them. And I just called to my colleagues, also human rights defenders, and they, as volunteers, join to the ARC Legal Assistance Board. It's just, simple program to provide different consultations. And we opened 2 shelters, one in Yerevan, Armenia, and the other one in Istanbul, Turkey, because these countries are non-visas for Russians, and they can get there just with foreign passport. So, and and it's how the ARC started, just a volunteer initiative. But
presumably a lot of the people that you're helping have got quite very difficult psychological problems after what they've been through.
Yeah, we started a psychological department in 3 weeks after the project was launched. So in this case, we became the biggest project which assists Russian exiled community in 2-3 months. So a lot of people donated money for us for this assistance, and we opened new shelters. And for sure, after the mobilization was announced, it was the second huge wave of immigration. So we provided assistance for these people who don't want to take part in this bloody war and don't want to kill Ukrainians. So in this case, for now, we have about 500,000 audience and 200,000 people who receive different type of assistance from us.
You hinted earlier on that you were able to help some people as well who are still in Russia. What do you think Russian public opinion is now? I mean, presumably it depends, vastly who you talk to and where you are in the country. But as a whole, do you feel that people are still very strongly supportive overall of Vladimir Putin?
I can say that people are really scared to express their opinions because there is really huge military censorship, and you can go to prison for 10-12 years just for calling the war by its name, because Russian officials call it special military operation. So in this case, for sure, people are afraid to express their opinion, and we know about 10,000 people under different types of persecution for now, just because they expressed their anti-war position or took part in some guerrilla-style actions against the war, military infrastructure, or just provide different type of assistance for Ukrainian refugees who were deported to Russia from Ukrainian territories which were occupied. So different repression tools. And so in this case, people are really scared, for example, to answer for different government surveys and something like that. And I can say that Vladimir Putin tries to, show this public opinion, then everybody support the war and support him. But in fact, we see a lot of people who are involved, for example, in hidden volunteering movements, and people can be so loud inside the country. In this case, people who stay abroad because of political motivated persecution and the anti-war position, they can be more vocal. And a lot of civil society projects still, for now, work with such, hybrid format. For example, management and public speakers stay abroad, and there are still a lot of active people inside the country. And the main, picture of this, of this activity was in times of presidential campaign, when it was a really brave candidate who expressed anti-war position, and there were really huge lines in minus 20, minus 30 degrees outside, who stayed just to express their opinions through put signature under the nomination of this candidate.
Just time to ask you really quickly, do you think you'll ever be able to go home?
I want to go home, and I'll go home immediately when situation allows, because I want to turn my country to democracy, and I want to build the democratic country which will be safe for other countries and for sure for own citizens.
Great to talk to you on the programme today. Thanks very much for coming in to talk to Anastasia Burakova, founder of the ARC Human Rights Defender as well. Thanks very much.
Thank you.